It's Sunday the 23rd of April 2023. Welcome to another stage analysis video. I'm going to start the weekend video with a quick review of the stage analysis of the mega caps that are reporting this week. Well, some of them at least. There's Microsoft, Google, Meta, and Amazon later in the week, Thursday, I believe. Before getting into some of the more regular content, some of the members only section, but we'll do a little feature on the mega cap stocks to start today. So starting with Microsoft, we've got the broke out into stage 2 now 6 weeks ago after an initial failed attempt a month or so before that, which squatted into the bullish stage 2 line. So recaptured the stage 2 breakout level, started to move back through that resistance zone as well. Has now been consolidating for the best part of the last 4 weeks. So we've got earnings coming up after the market close on Tuesday. So you can see relative strength versus the S&P 500 has been outperforming above what we call the Mansfield zero line, which is the 52-week moving average of the stock divided by the S&P 500. So you can do this with ETFs, you can do it with stocks, whatever. But basically, this line here is what we consider the zero line. So above that, it's starting to outperform. So you can see since the stage 2 breakout, it's been outperforming, but started to obviously consolidate and pull back a little bit, but still outperforming year to date so far. If we drop down onto a daily chart of this, you can see in a little bit more detail the breakout areas here. So we had that initial failed breakout attempt, which rolled back over, came back into the 200-day and 50-day moving averages down here, started to push back out again, and then recaptured that stage 2 level and started to grind higher. And so far, respecting that 21-day EMA. Just consolidating above that as we go into earnings this week. So it's in a strong position at the moment as it goes into earnings this week after 4 weeks of tight action. So we're on lower volume here. So potential for a continuation breakout attempt obviously would be the ideal here. If it does start to falter here and we start to fall back into the range here and back into down towards the stage 1 base structure again, then obviously that would be a negative, but still quite a long way above the rising 30-week moving average and still above its 10-week moving average, 50-day moving average on the daily there. So still got a bit of near-term protection as such, potentially if it does start to pull back in a bit. We look at Google, you can see failed to break out into stage 2 in the last few weeks here, testing that stage 2 level here basically, and now rolled back over during this week. So again, earnings after the market close on Tuesday. So big day after the close on Tuesday with 2 major mega cap stocks reporting. Again, looking for a stage 2 breakout attempt. So we'll be looking for a push up and out through the stage 1 structure here. Ideally, you want to see some stronger volume, tend to get that on earnings moves. So if we do get this, then potentially Google could potentially start to move back into stage 2 again. You can see if you look back on the chart, back through the previous years, back to 2020 on here, you can see the shakeout move, COVID lows here into stage 4, quickly reverted to stage 1, started to recapture stage 2 levels again. So before having a strong rally, which obviously held above that rising 30-week moving average for the majority of the stage 2 advance before starting to show a change of behavior and then starting to move into a more choppy stage 3 type behavior at the top here before rolling over into the stage 4 decline back in, where are we now, April 2022 here. So consolidating for a while now in stage 1 and in position for a potential stage 2 breakout. Again, if it doesn't manage to break out to stage 2, it would be a major one for the market, being one of the mega caps. So we want to see Microsoft and Google obviously pushing higher in early stage 2, ideally if we want the market to be moving higher. But at the moment, still sitting just at the top of the stage 1 structure here as it goes into earnings with relative strength consolidating around the Mansfield zero line here. So we're looking for that to start to improve and start to outperform with any kind of breakout move. Meta, on the other hand, already moved out into stage 2. It's got earnings coming up after the close on Wednesday. See, it had a big big move here that started from a V bottom, so a different kind of a move into stage 2 than we get. We don't always get a nice base structure. We don't get the classic Wyckoff accumulation structure or the ideal investor bottom. Sometimes you get sharp V bottoms like we've seen in Meta here, where it quickly moves through what we call stage 4B minus area and starts to turn into stage 1, but then doesn't ever roll over and start to form a structure and immediately pushes up and starts to move into stage 2. So this bar here potentially started to move into stage 2. If we drop down onto a daily time frame, you'll be able to see that a bit more clearly. So we tend to, as a rough guide, you look for your first pivot above the 200-day moving average to set the stage 2 breakout level. Sometimes if you get a big break above that, then obviously it automatically jumps into it. But with a big gap, you obviously expect some back and fill within that. So this move here would be your stage 2 breakout, even though, as I said, there is no obvious stage 1 base structure to speak of. We've got our stage 4B minus area through this kind of area and then starting to move into potential stage 1 with a change of behavior there. So as you see a bit of a change of character going on, but immediately jumping into stage 2 and then consolidating. So with the push above here, early continuation breakout attempt within early stage 2 here, starting to move higher. So as I said, earnings coming up after the close on Wednesday for Meta. So still within a broad resistance zone at the moment. Hasn't cleared all of that resistance from the deep stage 4 decline that it had. So, but obviously made some strong progress year to date. It's already moved since the lows in January here. You can see it's already over 70% at the moment. So a big move after such a deep stage 4 decline. So more consolidation would be the expectation, but obviously could continue to grind its way higher in stage 2. So we'll see what earnings brings for this one on Wednesday. Next up, Amazon after the close on Thursday. This has been one of the weakest mega caps, if not the weakest mega cap for a long time. We'll see deep stage 4 decline since early in 2022. Here's your stage 4 breakdown area here. So on this week, so here's where it broke down into stage 4 early in January 2022. Had obviously a big shakeout move through there as it dropped down into stage 4 and has only just started to grind its way into potential stage 1 again. Did have an initial change of behavior move through here that started to show potential stage 1 characteristics, but obviously the rollover carried on to new lows, so failed stage 1 attempt and is now starting to make a new stage 1 base structure. Again, if we drop down onto a daily chart here, you can see we've got that first pivot above the 200-day moving average here, gives us a potential stage 2 level to watch here. So at the moment it's around just under that 1115 area. The top of the pivot here was at 114 at the moment, so still developing in a stage 1 structure at the moment. It's pretty tight base structure, a little bit of classic Wyckoff structure in here. You've got selling climax, automatic rallies, secondary tests. Obviously secondary tests is a shakeout type move, up thrusts, last point of supports, and starting to rally out. So not yet a jump across the creek, not yet made it through this 200-day moving average and convincingly out of the structure. But as I said, the stage 2 level at the moment, potentially around that 114 level. So go back to the weekly chart here. You can see obviously going to have a lot of overhead resistance, even if it does manage to break out from this initial structure that's forming. So again, earnings on the Thursday after the close on the 27th. So we will watch to see which way it reacts.